Hello, this is the first grammar presentation of two that I'm going to be doing. Just a little explanation of the grammar that can sometimes be a little bit confusing. So hopefully this helps. There is also a really useful video just below what you're going to see on this Google Forms document. So this is from Khan Academy, and hopefully if I don't explain it in a way that works for you, hopefully they will. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about relative pronouns. So first, relative pronouns are used to bring main clauses and main clauses and a new clause to make one sentence. Okay, so you have your main clause, in this case, that's the bakery. And then you have your relative clause, which adds additional information. So a relative clause is a clause that adds more information to the sentence to make it clearer or give more understanding. All right, so there are two types of relative clauses. There's a defining relative clause and non-defining relative clause. A defining relative clause is a clause that gives essential information. So without the relative clause, we don't know the thing, person, place, or time that the sentence refers to. So the example that they give is that this is the restaurant which serves aromatic curries. So this is the restaurant alone. Doesn't really make sense. So this is a additional clause, additional information that is needed to make the sentence make sense. So this is the sentence alone, doesn't make sense, which serves, and then another sentence which serves aromatic curries doesn't make sense either. So these two sentences or these two clauses need to be together for the sentence to make sense. If you take one of those out, neither sentence makes sense. So think of the defining relative clause as a clause that gives additional information, but is necessary that it needs to be there for it to make sense. Okay. And then one thing to know is that in defining relative clauses, we can replace who and which with that. So this is the restaurant which serves aromatic curries. You could also say this is the restaurant that serves aromatic curries. Okay, and then the non-defining relative clause is probably, as you can guess, an extra information once more, but this is not needed. It's just superficial or additional information that doesn't need to be there for the sentence to make sense. So the example they give is the restaurant, which is called Thai Spice, serves aromatic curries. As we saw above, the restaurant serves aromatic curries in itself is a sentence, doesn't need this clause, which is called Thai Spice. But that clause does give additional information and is useful for the reader or the listener to get a deeper understanding of what this restaurant is. So non-defining clauses do add additional information. However, it is not necessary to complete the sentence or for the sentence to make sense. Okay, and the reason why I brought up which and who can replace that, the other way around, that can replace who and which in these sentences is because in non-defining clauses, we cannot replace relative pronouns with that in non-defining clauses. Okay, lastly, the relative pronoun part is the part that connects these two clauses. The main clause with the relative clause either being a defining or a non-defining clause. So we use words to connect these two clauses together to make sense. So we use who for people, which for things, whose to show possession, when for time, and where for place. I'm going to put a picture here to hopefully make more sense of combining these two clauses together. But if you're talking about people, you use this is the person who went for a bike ride this morning. And then which for things, when for time. It was at this time yesterday when I had breakfast. Okay, so hopefully these examples here will help. I hope that helped for you. And again, if you need more information, check out that video below. Okay.